In 1995, the Perth public transport system was voted by Choice magazine as the best in Australia. Electrification of the Perth rail network and the introduction of the Northern Suburbs transit system has resulted in a threefold increase of patronage. The Northern Suburbs Railway is the backbone, the rapid transit element of a fully integrated multimodal public transport system. The Northern Suburbs Railway was designed to compete with private car travel for journeys to Perth and other major centres. To achieve this, the service is very frequent, fast, reliable and safe. The track has been designed to a standard that allows trains to travel safely at speeds of 110 km per hour with maximum passenger comfort and minimal track maintenance. The 29.2 kilometre journey from Currumbine to Perth takes just 27 minutes in peak hours. With only 7 stations along the route, the average distance between stations is over 4 kilometres, in comparison with 1.25 kilometres for the rest of the network. This has been an important factor in reducing journey times and wooing motorists onto the train. Another factor is that the frequency is such that, except at off-peak hours at night, a timetable is not required. During the morning peak, there are up to 14 Perth-bound trains per hour through Warwick Station. The stations on the Northern Suburbs transit system are not simply railway stations, but major modal interchanges, either bus-train interchanges or car-train interchanges, or both. Buses deliver patrons, in most cases, to directly above the railway platform. This concept reduces what is commonly called the transfer penalty, attributed to having to change modes. The interchanges feature kiss and ride and park and ride facilities for motorists. The largest park and ride facility is at Warwick Interchange, which has parking for 895 cars. 400 of these car bays are in a secured paid parking area. Here, commuters pay a small daily charge in return for a guarantee of security of their vehicles. Edgewater Station has a similar facility. There are also firm proposals to provide secured parking at other stations. Trains are heavily patronised in peak hours. To maximise frequency, the service has been standardised around a 2-car train concept, or multiples of 2 cars, whereas other systems are based on a 3-car concept. Each 2-car set is designed to carry 312 passengers, 148 seated and 164 standing. Transperth is experimenting by reducing the number of seats to increase the overall capacity of each train set by 30 to 40 passengers. Consideration is being given to make further changes to reduce congestion near doorways. A recent survey showed that at Warwick and Whitford's interchanges, around 40% of patrons arrive by bus, and up to 55% arrive either as a driver or passenger by car. By contrast, about 50% of passengers depart by bus in the afternoon. Such is the success of the Northern Suburbs transit system that it is now operating at full capacity during peak hours at Warwick and Whitford's interchanges. At Whitford's, the single-line kiss and ride is congested, whereas the multi-lane kiss and ride at Warwick is more able to cope with the volume of traffic. However, cars approaching from the north tend to drop their passengers off in this laneway rather than the proper kiss and ride station. In addition, by mid-morning each weekday, car parking facilities here at Warwick and here at Whitford's are full beyond their designed capacity. To relieve the congestion at Warwick and Whitford's interchanges, a new station at Hepburn Avenue is proposed for 1998-99. Hepburn Avenue Station will be designed principally as a kiss and ride, park and ride interchange. This proposed new station is expected to attract between 1,800 and 2,900 travellers each way daily. The station will include a car park with a capacity for 660 cars between the freeway and the southbound on-ramp. The Department of Transport is aiming to increase the public transport share of all personal trips in the greater metropolitan area from its current level of 6% up to 8% over the next 10 years. In addition, it aims to increase the share of trips to the central city from 36 to 45% in the same period. Forecasts indicate that the population of the Greater Perth metropolitan area will grow from its present 1.2 million to over 2 million by the year 2020. Because of various factors, the rapidly expanding metropolis will be concentrated within a fairly narrow coastal strip from Mandurah in the south to Yanchep in the north, a distance of more than 130 kilometres. The cohesion of such a long corridor will demand fast links for the movement of people, goods and services. The 1996 census showed that the Rockingham district to the south is one of the fastest growing urban areas in Australia. To meet the growing public transport needs for the southwestern corridor, 3 complementary systems have been proposed. A rapid transit rail system from Perth to Mandurah via Kenwick, Jandakot, Kwinana and Rockingham. A rapid transit bus service between Fremantle, Kwinana and Rockingham. And express buses on the Kwinana Freeway from Perth to South Street. The proposed Perth to Mandurah Railway will be modelled on the Northern Suburbs system. In order to compete with the car, the route has been designed to operate at speeds of up to 150 kilometres per hour. This can be achieved on a similar track structure to the Northern Suburbs Railway. In 1996, Queensland Rail began operating the narrow-gauge Gold Coast train as far south as Helensvale. The service will eventually run close to Surfers Paradise. The trains are smooth, fast and comfortable, and once out of the Brisbane suburban rail system, cruise at a safe 140 kilometres per hour. Stations are situated a minimum of 5 kilometres apart to allow the train to keep up an overall average speed that competes with the motorcar. In little over a year, this service is already well patronised by commuters. The proposed Perth to Mandurah Railway will run along the existing Modal line as far as Kenwick, then run parallel to the existing freight line to Jandakot, and then follow the Kwinana Freeway south to Thomson Lake and beyond. Projected patronage levels for the year 2006 for the section between Kenwick and Thomson Lake are similar to those now carried on the Modal line. Stations will be located at the confluence of major roads and the railway to maximise access to the stations from their catchment areas, but far enough apart to minimise journey times along the entire route. With a total distance of just over 90 kilometres, the Mandurah Railway will be longer than the total distance from Currambine to Armidale. The Perth to Mandurah Railway will be part of an overall rapid transit system in which train travel will provide fast interregional travel across the greater metropolitan area and at the same time compete with the motorcar. Rapid transit for Perth is the way of the future.